Yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy Mood616 here, and welcome back to another Top 10 Tuesday video. Yes, this is episode 80 in the Top 10 Tuesday series. Man, they are getting high up there in numbers. Yeah, for today I'm going to be talking about my top 10 favorite redemption Blu-rays in my collection. I do have the whole line so far. I know there's another one being released next month, so that'll be number 48 in the series, which I'm really excited about because it's been, 9 or 10 months since they released the last one. So they tend to do this. Kino does this with the redemption line. They'll release a couple titles, go like 6, 7, 8 months without releasing anything, and then they'll just come back to this line. So, but if you're not familiar with redemption, it's just like sub-label of Kino. They put out like all these kind of cult films from like the 70s and stuff like that. Pretty cool stuff. Love the line. It's really cool because it's all uniform, as you can see up here. So, but getting into the top 10, starting in with number 10 is a Jess Franco film, and it is called The Erotic Rites of Frankenstein. This one right here is a really fun film. I think this was on the Section 3 list of the Video Nasties ordeal. This is a really fucked up film. Sleazy, of course. If you're familiar with Jess Franco, you know what you're going to get with the sleaze factor and stuff. But basically in this one, Victor Frankenstein and his assistant get killed in this one, and his creation is taken by this evil scientist by the name of Caligastro or something like that. And he basically is wanting to use, Victor Frankenstein's creation to create like the master race and stuff. And there's a whole pile of other stuff going on in this one. I have done a full-length review for this on my channel, so if you want to know more about it, check that out. But this one, really fantastic. And I pretty much kind of compiled this list of the ones I've watched the most out of these. And this one's been pretty recent, so I had to put it in here. I have a lot of fun with this one, but even if you're not a fan of Jess Franco, check this one out. It's got some pretty interesting effects, and it's got an interesting look to it. It's just an oddity. It's an oddity in itself, and you got to check it out. It's just really strange. So, yeah, I can't get that in. Anyways, number 10. And at number 9 is going to be a Pete Walker film called The Comeback. Man, I love Pete Walker. He does such great films. This cover art's pretty dreadful, to be honest. But this one right here is about a pop singer that, he's kind of been washed up and he's really hoping to make his comeback. So he's recording this new album, which is hopefully going to put him back in the charts. Unfortunately, he's dealing with a lot of stuff, loss of his wife and things like that. And, he starts having all these visions and stuff, and then people around him start getting picked off one by one. It's pretty much a slasher film. This one came out, I believe, in 1978. Yeah, it does. It's in 1978, so The Comeback by Pete Walker. Really interesting film. A lot of fun. I've watched this one a few times, and I think it's a great film, so yeah. In at number 9. In at number 8 is the first of a few Gene Roland films, and this one is The Living Dead Girl. I love this film because it's very, like most Gene Roland films, it's very atmospheric, and this one's very dark, and it's just a really fun, cool film. Basically about this girl right here. Her body's in the basement of this castle, and it gets resurrected by, I don't know, some types of barrels of like toxic sludge or chemicals or something like that. These people are moving into this castle and they spill it, and it resurrects her body. And as you can see, she starts to mow on people and drink their blood, and it's got all those elements of Gene Roland in this film. This one right here, yeah, it's one of his later ones. It's from 1982, actually. So not one of his, early 70s gems, but this one kind of takes all of the early Gene Roland film elements and kind of incorporates it into a newer style. And it's a really interesting film, but Living Dead Girl, give this one a shot. It's awesome stuff. And of course, that was number 8. In at number 7 is The Asfix. Really fun film here. I can't remember who directed this one. Robert Stevens in this one. Robert Powell, of course, plays scientists that they basically create this, I don't know, kind of like this camera type deal. But anyways, they get this image of like the Asfix, which is like like an ancient Greek spirit of the dead. But anyways, they figure out a way to like channel this thing and kind of hold it so they can, become immortal. And of course, all shit breaks loose, or all hell breaks loose after that and stuff. But this is a really fun film. You're not going to get any gore and things like that in this one. This is like a rated PG film. There was no PG-13 in 1972. But yeah, it's pretty, it's a fun film. It's really great. Definitely give this one a shot. Asfix. Yeah, in at number 6, we have another Gene Roland film, and it is called the Domani Acts. Yeah. This one right here is about these 2 girls here, that they actually get raped by these pirates, and they're kind of left for dead, and they run into like this priest who's holding, I think he's holding like the devil, like he's watching over the devil. Anyways, somehow the devil ends up giving these girls these special supernatural powers and things like that to go and exact their revenge on these pirates that left them for dead after they raped them and stuff. So this is a pretty interestingly odd film too. Yeah, really strange one from 1974. But cool stuff again. You know, it's very typical Gene Roland with his cinematography. He captures a lot of, you know, things by the water, and, you know, it's got all those typical Gene Roland elements in it, but it's a different type of film though. It's pretty cool, but I recommend the Domani Acts. Really cool stuff. And of course that was number 6. In at number 5, we have another Pete Walker film, and that is called Frightmere. Yeah, just a super fun film about this couple that has been released from kind of the nut house. I think they were in there for like 10 or 15 years or something like that. And basically the husband is covering up for his wife, who's still killing people and actually eating them also. She's like a cannibal, which is played by, what's her face? Oh, I'm so bad with names. But anyways, it's her. She's in a lot of films. Yeah, anyways, they're like a strange daughter comes to visit or something like that. And, you know, all fucking hell breaks loose and stuff. It's pretty awesome. I love this film. Really great stuff. Great atmosphere in this one. Great acting. The acting in this film is just fantastic. I wish I could remember her name. I'm sure Derek's screaming it at the computer screen right now, but I'm so bad with names, as everyone knows. But anyways, Frightmere, really fantastic Pete Walker stuff. Check it out. Okay, that was number 5. And at number 4 is another Gene Roland film, and this one here is Lips of Blood. This is a really strange film. Again, very kind of typical Gene Roland cinematography, atmosphere, just oddball film about a young man that he basically has these visions, and he wants to kind of investigate it. So he starts to investigate. He comes across this really strange woman and a few vampires who take him to this castle, which, you know, if you watch Gene Roland films, he films a lot of his films in castles, like in real castles. I can't remember. The one that he filmed in this one is like actually from it's a famous castle. And it's just really strange. This is a really oddball film, very tantalizing and strange, but pretty cool. They got some twins in here. But again, you know, if you're familiar with Gene Roland films, you know what you're going to get with something like this. Most of his films are thinkers. You know, they can be artsy and odd, but you know, there's a lot of metaphors and things that are in his films. So, but Lips of Blood, really good stuff. That was in at number 4. And at number 3 is, we got to go over here to a French film directed by Alain Robbe-Gurlet, and it's called Elmore Tell. This is great. This is a really fun film. I talked about this film in Best of the Blind Buys. This one right here is kind of like it's like watching a really early David Lynch film. Now, I don't know if David Lynch is familiar with Alain Robbe-Gurlet at all, but if he is, I'm assuming that he got a little bit of his style from this guy, because this is kind of like the original David Lynch, in my opinion. His films are very dreamlike and odd, and you don't really know what the hell's going on in his films. It's really strange. This one's no different. It's about an American who's traveling through, or no, he's not American. I can't remember. He's a French. Yeah, he's French. He's traveling in I don't know, it's like Romania or something like that. I can't remember where he is. Maybe Budapest or something like that. It says on the back somewhere anyways. But anyways, the point is, he's traveling there. He comes across this woman, and he's basically just traveling around because he's just trying to find himself a little bit. And he comes across this woman. He starts to have like a little bit of relations with her. He's, you know, really kind of falling for her. Anyway, she disappears, and he starts asking people around, you know, if they've seen her, and everyone's like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, I seen you the other day, but you weren't with her, kind of deal. And it's a total mind trip, man. This is a really great film. Really good stuff. Definitely give it a shot. It's fucking awesome. And it's an early film from 1963. It's trippy, man. Really trippy stuff. Great cinematography. Really trippy film. Check it out. That was number 3. And at number 2 is, of course, going back to Gene Roland, and everyone knew I was going to have a bunch of Gene Roland on here, and that's, of course, The Grapes of Death. This one is, again, really atmospheric and strange. Basically about this wine that gets infected with this, it gets some type of rabid type thing in there. Anyways, it infects the people that drink it. They turn into basically zombies in a way and stuff, so hence Grapes of Death. Really fantastic film. I love this one. I've watched this one so many times. I love watching this one late at night. I feel like atmospheric, kind of strange, bizarre films. Check out Grapes of Death. Really fantastic stuff. So, and of course, in at number 1 is going to be another Gene Roland film, and that is The Iron Rose. And this one right here is very simple. It's just about a couple that go to, into the cemetery, and basically they can't get out of it. They're trying to figure out a way to get out of this thing. It's kind of like a mind fuck, almost like a maze type deal. And then a whole pile of crazy shit starts happening in this. Again, atmospheric, really, really trippy film, full of metaphors and other things that are going on in this one. It's just a really fun, oddball film. The first time I watched this, I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. I watched it again and just absolutely fell in love with it. Awesome stuff. I couldn't recommend The Iron Rose enough. Really great stuff. But so that is going to do it for my top 10. Now, a few honorable mentions in this. Pretty much anything to do with, Gene Roland. Like I said, here's the whole line. So if you see anything in there, but I got to say that the Pete Walker films, House of Whipcord, this one's really fantastic. Schizo, really good stuff. Die Screaming Marianne, another Pete Walker, really good film. The Awful Dr. Orloff, really early Jess Franco film, really good stuff. Really enjoyed that one. The Flesh and Blood Show by Pete Walker, which is fantastic. Also, I can't even believe this didn't make my top 10. And of course, Zombie Lake by Gene Roland. Not a great film, probably one of his worst made films. But there's something about this movie that I just absolutely adore. Wastes of Zombies, terrible, terrible Jess Franco film. And it's just, there's something about this movie that it has this charm to it I just absolutely love. Of course, you got Virgin Witch, which is just sleazy as all fucking hell. The hilarious Burke and Hare, about the Burke and Hare story, but it's just, this take is so fucking funny. It's just hilarious. Really, really good stuff. Yeah, and then we got, of course, the early Roland films, Nude Vampire, which is really great. Shiver the Vampires, which is really fantastic. Fascination's pretty cool, with, what's her face, the porn star. I can't remember what her name is right now, because again, I'm really bad with names. Rape of the Vampire, good stuff. But yeah, the list goes on and on, man. There's just a lot of really cool films in here. This is a really interesting Robert Gillet film. And this is awesome. The Sinful Nuns of St. Valentine. Really cool period piece. Of course, you know what you're going to get with that one right there. Pretty interesting stuff. But yeah, the list goes on and on, guys. Redemption, really cool line. Definitely give these films a shot, at some time. Get your hands on them. So that is going to do it for this top 10. Check you guys next week in week 81. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And again, of course, peace out, homies.